Me oleme Juhan Kuusi top-fotokeskuses ja meil on siin näitus Lõuna-Aafrika ajaloost ja Nelson Mandela 100-aastasele sünnipäevale pühendatud näitus.
The first time that I was introduced to the photographer was through my wife. She's from Estonia. She said, my angel, you know what, there's this beautiful exhibition about this Estonian photographer who lived in South Africa, and he's got an exhibition in Teleskivi. And I said, okay. And I came and I met the curator of the exhibition and we had a chat, and it was, you know, when I looked through the exhibition and I walked and I read what was written about the pictures on display, and it took me back to South Africa. It really did. And my understanding then was that this photographer must have been very connected to the people of South Africa. He must have had a very deep understanding of what South Africa was about. I remember these from my student days as a young activist and comrade within the African National Congress, and you know, going to campus with the train. There was always a chance that you would be chased by the police. It was exciting in its own way, but it was also terribly dangerous. So this was sort of a daily occurrence for people living in South Africa if you were born on the wrong skin. So, so as a young student, you always had to be on the lookout for the police. I remember marching with friends, and the police would say, "We give you 5 minutes to disperse," and usually they would count from 1 to 5. Not 5 minutes. We always had to be very wary. So yeah, police brutality was probably one of the worst things that we lived through in South Africa.
We are at the Nelson Mandela exhibition. For someone who is a complete idiot, how would you describe who is Nelson Mandela?
That's a big one. Such a big man, you know. To explain him in a brief sentence or shortly is maybe not the easiest thing in the world to do. But yes, he's, by some he's regarded as a freedom fighter, by others Madiba, the father of the nation. But he's a man that stood firm and stood tall, irrespective of the difficulties that he faced as the leader of the African National Congress, with one singular purpose in his mind: the freedom of his people. And he was willing to sacrifice his life, having spent 27 years behind bars, for this one single belief that our people have the right to be free. And we were under occupation, if one could put it that way, for a very long period of time. And the injustices of the people who occupied our country went on without any interference from the outside. We were asking, please, we want the freedom of our people. He stood tall and he said, it doesn't matter what it takes, even if we have to resort to violence. This is ultimately what happened, but this is what we will do to gain the freedom of our people. And in the end, we had a good result. South Africa became free. So here on this photo, you can see me standing there, still with hair, but now there's no hair. This young gentleman standing here with the hair and the glasses, introducing Nelson Mandela soon after his release from prison to tens of thousands of people at a rally in the Western Cape. As you can see, the international journalists, all of them there. So this was really a splendid moment in my life, something that I will always cherish and never forget. Something that was also extremely weird in South African context during apartheid was that you had separate amenities for different people from different race groups. For example, if you go to toilets, it would be public toilets for white people and public toilets for non-whites. You go on a train, you would be sitting on the train, and there would be third-class compartments for people of color and first-class compartments for people who are white. You would find this in beaches, in restaurants. You would not even be able to enter a restaurant for that matter. So you would be there, and on the beach there will be people 300 meters away from you, and that's a white beach. And on the same water you would have black people splashing in and playing in the sun. So the principle was weird. Right? If you have to explain it to people, they don't understand it. If you explain these kind of things, it makes no sense. But this is what apartheid was, and how people had to live under this weird system.
Minu meelest on hästi oluline, et ka Eesti inimestel, kelle jaoks Lõuna-Aafrika võib tunduda väga kauge, et kuidas see meid puudutab, et just nimelt avardada seda silmaringi ja näha, mida üks äärmuseni viidud segregatsioonipoliitika võib ühiskonnaga korda saata.
Such atrocities that is perpetrated by humans upon other humans should not be tolerated, should not be allowed, it should never happen again. And the younger we can reach them to get this message clearly through, the better it is. And I'm hoping that at one point that this exhibition will be available for all schools within the country because it's something that they need to see.
Kas sa räägid eesti keelt ka?
Ma räägin eesti keelt natukene, I will practice, I think, in August. I have a course planned for me by the company, and then who knows, at the next interview, it will not be in English, it might just be in Estonian. Yeah?